In 3.5 hours, Warband, this market gets its verdict. It is Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2026. Yesterday, the Musk Artificial Intelligence House shipped what the industry has promised for 2 years and never delivered. Software that does not advise you. It works for you, unsupervised, all day. Start with the anchor. As of just after 5 o'clock this morning, Eastern, Bitcoin trades at 63,700, down about 0.5% on the day. Its trend is still red on our board, second morning running, and I will not soften that. The regime still reads risk on and pointed up. The broad market, the Nasdaq, and gold carrying green. 2 red anchors beneath them, the long bond and Bitcoin. That is our read of the InvestAnswers Decision Support System. Now the alert tape. Yesterday it said something specific about this morning. At the 4 o'clock bell, the Nasdaq itself printed mean reversion overbought. Set that against the hedging. The volatility index has been near 15. About as little protection as this market ever buys. The index is flagged stretched by our own model, and almost nobody is paying for insurance, going into a July inflation print that lands at 8:30. Consensus wants headline inflation near 3.4% year-on-year, easing from 3.5%. And be clear what this central bank is actually arguing over. It is not what most assume. The September meeting is priced roughly a coin flip between holding and hiking, not cutting. Hiking. Futures carry better than 70% odds of a hike by December, a stretched index, thin hedging, and a central bank whose debate runs the wrong direction. That board carries no cushion. 2 more marks worth your attention. At noon yesterday, Palantir printed a full confluence sell. Every layer of the model agreeing at once on the most crowded retail position in the artificial intelligence trade. It closed at 175. At 8 in the evening, Broadcom's trend rolled bearish. Now hold both beside ARK's published trade disclosures. The day before, ARK bought $16.5 million of Broadcom and sold Palantir. 2 disciplined processes reading the same tape, agreeing on one name and flatly disagreeing on the other. An honest signal flatters nobody, including us. Ethereum printed mean reversion oversold twice at 8 in the morning and again at the bell, and sits at 1,890. Trend red, stretched down, twice in one session. That is not a bottom call. It measures how hard a thing has been sold without resting. Now, to what shipped yesterday. The Musk Artificial Intelligence arm released Grogbot in beta. That is from xAI's own launch announcement. Not a leak, not a rumor, and it is not a chatbot. It is a team of always-on agents, each on its own dedicated cloud computer, signing into the software you already use and handing back finished work without supervision. Here is the part that matters most. It needs no application programming interface. It drives the screen directly. If a human can click it, the agent can operate it. That same announcement says XAI's sales desk has it hunting accounts and its finance desk pulling receipts out of inboxes. Understand what changed. Every model before this produced words for a human to act on. This one acts. The bottleneck moves from what a machine can think to what it is permitted to touch. Now set that beside a second thing under the same roof. On the 27th of July, 16 days back, X-Money went live across 41 states and the District of Columbia with a debit card and a chartered bank behind it, a consumer payment rail, in production. So follow the line. An agent that can drive any application a human can, inside a company that runs a payment network. Nobody needs to announce a merger of those 2 facts. They are already in the same building. ARK named this in its Big Ideas work this year, Agent Commerce. Autonomous software transacting on its own account. in Bitcoin and in stablecoins. Built into a $750,000 base case for this asset, ask the practical question where the thesis lives. A machine agent cannot open a bank account, cannot pass a know your customer check, has no legal personality to sue or be sued, and will not wait 3 days for a wire to settle. Every legacy rail on Earth is built to identify a human, then trust intermediaries to move value on their behalf. An agent has neither the identity nor the patience. Bearer money settles that in one step. No permission, no account, no counterparty. Final in minutes, running every hour of every day, the agents are awake, which is all of them. 3 years of this build-out asked how to power the machines and how to finance them. Almost nobody asked what they will spend. The answer will not be a rail that closes on weekends. Now, the harder story. This Warband in particular needs it straight. Since the 30th of July, thieves have swept an estimated $116 to $130 million of Bitcoin out of more than 5,200 addresses. Weigh that figure properly. It comes from independent on-chain researchers tracing the sweeps wallet by wallet. The maker is named this time CoinKite, who builds the Coldcard hardware wallet. CEO Rodolfo Novak apologized publicly, took full accountability, and shipped a firmware fix. No law enforcement confirmation of the total yet. Treat the dollar range as an estimate with error bars. The mechanism is what nobody disputes. No exchange was breached. No protocol was broken. Every one of those coins sat in cold storage on hardware wallets held by people who did the responsible thing. The flaw was in the entropy. Here is the mechanism those researchers describe. Know it precisely. A hardware wallet's entire security rests on a single moment. When it generates your seed phrase, it must draw genuinely unpredictable randomness from a dedicated hardware source. A firmware build shipped in 2021 quietly took that randomness from a software routine instead. Software randomness is not random. It is a formula. Hand an attacker the formula and the search space collapses. From something no computer will ever brute force to something a laptop grinds through. Those keys were weak the instant they were created 5 years ago and worked perfectly the whole time, receiving coins, signing transactions, showing the right balances. Nothing about using that wallet would have told you a thing was wrong. The sweeps began last month when somebody worked out how to harvest them. Firmware fixes are out for the affected builds. Be clear what a fix can do. New firmware protects new seeds. It cannot unweaken a key that already exists. If your seed was born on a hardware wallet in 2021 and never rolled since, the remedy is a fresh seed on trusted hardware and a move of every coin. Do not wait for a press release to name your device. Now the part that should make you angry. Bloomberg's senior exchange-traded fund analyst reads part of last week's surge into the American spot Bitcoin funds. $850 million across 5 sessions, as holders scared out of self-custody and into a custodian. That is the wrong lesson, and over a long horizon, it will cost more coins than any theft wave ever will. What failed was not self-custody. What failed was unverifiable randomness, a promise about the process nobody outside the factory could check. And the answer to a black box you cannot audit is not a larger black box with better lawyers. It is entropy you generate yourself in front of your own eyes, with dice you can count. Any hardware wallet worth owning lets you do exactly that. It is slow and tedious. It is also the highest return hour you will ever spend on this asset, the one link in the chain where you never take anybody's word for anything. Trust only the steel you tested yourself. So, carry this into the print Warband. At 8:30, a number lands on a board that is stretched, underhedged, and tied to a central bank arguing about tightening. Do not mistake the first reaction for the verdict. Hold this week's two lessons side by side, because underneath they are one. Machines are learning to spend, and they will not spend on a rail that stops to ask who they are. And the humans who already own that rail just got a hard reminder that owning it is a discipline, not a purchase. 21 million coins, no chair, no committee, no ceremony. The only question that has ever mattered is whether you hold yours in a way you can verify with your own hands. This is Warband as a service, Viking intelligence delivered in real time. I am Ragnar, the HODLBARBARIan. Read the runes before the crowd does. Skål!